calendar year standpoint, being that most people want to look at it from that way. So let me deal with it from a calendar standpoint. 2011 to 2012. Did I bring over the bad and the ugly? So then that means this year, are you really in your new season for real? Or are you still in 2009? Because the arc from 2009 can still be carried on to 2012. So if you've not come into your new season of you're still in 2009. With that same art, with that same person who did it in 2009. So what year are you in? What season are you in? Are you really in 2012? Are you really in 2012 based on the season of you? You. Me. You. 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 All right. And see, this is just a spiritual check. That means that I may move on from this message next week. So don't think this will be a series I will continue to preach this. This is just a spiritual check, a reminder for the past year to the new year. That's all it is. Because He's wanting me to preach this and then move on to something next week, and I'm going to move into whatever else He wants me to say for the year. But now this is a reminder before we fully move into fullness. This is day one of the new year. So He's saying, let me give them a spiritual check. Let me give them a spiritual check. Because many have not even left 2011. They're still right there in 2011. In their minds and their heart and their spirit, they've not left. Remember when we talked about catapult in the spirit message? And we said that sometimes God can move you forward, but your mind can be in the back. And so sometimes God can move you forward for the sake of getting the work done, but your mind's still back there. You're not left. And what God's trying to do is He's trying to bring us to a place where our mind and our life match in this present season. Because when you live in the past, you constantly talk about the past, live in the past in your mind. And you can tell when a person living in the past in their mind. Just listen to the conversation. You can tell. Just listen to their conversation. You can tell. It's about the future and the present based on the season and time of God. Enough of this old that we're talking about and talking about the old. Yes, it is a time to reflect on the past. Don't get me wrong. It's a time to reflect for the sake of the goodness of God and the testimony of God's name and His word. So there's nothing wrong with that. We must always do that. But when it is not pushing or bringing us forth, then we're still living in the past. And living as a past is a dangerous thing, because it's like this, for example. It's like the person who's still living in 1971, and they dress that way. You've seen those people who really don't want to let go of 1971 clothes. They don't want to let it go. They still dress like in 1971. And they really think it's cool. And they think it's cool. They really be dressing like in 1971. There's people who like it, because they're still in their mind back there. There's people who's in the 80s, they're still in the 80s, they're still dressing like old way back Madonna. Remember? Seriously. And you see that show that they have on what's the name of the channel? What Not to Wear? What Not to Wear. That's a TV show called What Not to Wear. But if you listen, look at some of those who wear some of the stuff they be wearing. They be wearing, some will be in the past. What's the point? I'm just making an analogy. But that person is living in the past in their mind. And to them, it's still, even though that was the old Madonna when she first came out, like a virgin and all that. But the thing is, in their mind, that clothes is still cool. But when they go down the street, everybody looking at them snickering. See, in other words, it means this here. When you're in the past in your mind and people who move forward, in a sense of it, it's like they're snickering at you. Man, when you gonna move past that? May not be the judgment way, could be the judgment way. But what they're saying is, when are you going to move past that? You're still living in 2007, you're still living in 2006. When are you going to move past that? And what they said is, I moved on and learned how to move on, and I can sense about you that you're living in your past. We're not here to judge each other or point fingers at each other, but at the same time, we're not naive to these things. Some people live in the past, and you know when you talk to them, when you relate to them, you just listen to them talk, you know they're living in their past. They're not let go of their past, and they still hold on to things from the past. What's the whole point behind this? Are you in the season? Of you. Of you. And it is a spiritual check on self before continuing to step forward. A spiritual check on self before continuing to step forward. Are you really in your new season? Are you really in your new season? Let's look at a few words, and then we're going to go into some nuggets, and then we're going to be done. Let's look at the word new. New. The word new means different from the former or old. And then it also means change for the better. Change for the better. This is new. And interesting, you used that word earlier, which is the word rejuvenated. Also means rejuvenated. Rejuvenated. Two more words. The word bad, the next definition of the word bad. Unpleasant or disturbing. Unpleasant or disturbing. Unpleasant or disturbing. And then is also unfavorable. Unpleasant or disturbing, and then unfavorable. Okay, then the next word we have is the word ugly.
No. No.
Likely to cause embarrassment or trouble.
No.
Likely to cause embarrassment or trouble. And then the next part is repulsive or displeasing to the eye. Okay. Let's turn to Ephesians chapter 4. Ephesians chapter 4, when you have it, say amen. And we're going to start at verse number 17. Ephesians chapter 4. Amen? Okay. All right, we're going to start at verse number 17. Ephesians chapter 4. 17. Okay, here we go. All right, now it says, "This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk, not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart, who being past feeling have given themselves over to unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness. But ye have not so learned Christ, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus that you put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore I put away lying, speaking every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil. Amen. And we read verses 17 through 27. And when we look at verse number 23, it says, "And be renewed in the spirit of your mind." And 24 says, "And that you put on the new man, which is after God is created in righteousness and true holiness." And I want us to focus on the fact he says new man. See, because he asked the question in the message, are you in your new season? You, me. The new man. The new man. See, we all know how to have on a new outfit with a new car. People know how to put in new curtains and new furniture with a new house. People know how to strut and show off their new man or their new woman. People know how to show off their new clothes. People know how to show off their new baby. See? Everything we know how to show off, that's new. We know how to show. There's a pastor there that show off their new building. Anything that's new, the person ought to show it off. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just showing the glory and the blessings of God. So there's nothing wrong with it. We're supposed to show forth the things that God has done. We're supposed to show forth unto mankind and those, also the brethren, that, hey, God has done great things. We have to testify and show forth that. So there's nothing wrong in of itself about that. But when are we going to show off the new man of who we are? We can show off the new clothes. Them females can show off them bad nails. Them brand new nails that just got done. They're not showing girl up. Girl up. And look what she did with him. How you got that? See what she did with him? Oh, no, and she didn't say, this girl here bad. You need to go to her. She was such and such shopping center. This girl bad. Look, girl, let me tell you. See. We know how to show off the new Michael Jordan Jay shoes. This Friday, previous Friday, man, it was the new ones came out, the 95 and the 96, and everybody was all over the country going crazy. They had it all in the news. People fighting over I think the 95 or the 96, one of the two. And the black and the blue ones. And it was all over the news saying how people just all over the country fighting over it. That's a unique pair he released. But the point was, is everybody want them shoes. And we showed one guy, acting like he licking his shoes. So I got him. Acting like he licking his shoes. I mean, right out the box, but still. But the point is I'm showing you how we go crazy over things that are new like that. There's a new hairstyle, I gotta get this. They look in the Black Hair magazine, girl, that's bad. I said, look at that new hairstyle, that's bad. They get that new hairdo. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All these things I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with none of these things, per se. But when are we gonna show off the new man? They said, look at me, I'm new. Oh man, my attitude different now. The new me. See the new me? I don't get agitated like I used to. I'm new in that area. I used to worry when my bills wouldn't get paid and get so agitated that when people talk to me on the phone, I would go off on them because I'm mad because the bill collector is calling me. You know, I don't get like that no more. I'm pleasant now. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter what's going on. Regardless, I still am now a new person to the point where now, guess what? No matter who called me, I still can be pleasant now to everybody I talk to on the phone. Oh yeah. I don't snatch the children around like I used to when I get mad because I'm frustrated. You know, I used to snatch these kids around and move boy, move girl. I don't do that anymore. I have a little more patience now because the new me don't do that. Because even though in the midst of my own frustration, if I didn't watch it, I would end up making my children think that's the way it's supposed to be. And I, to a degree, it was a semi-form of abuse. Because in my own anger, I was doing that mess. Semi. And it also teaches fear. So to a degree, I can't get mad when my kids run from me because they're scared. Because in my posture, I used to always snatch them. But now I don't do that no more. The new me, calm down. I'm going to ride what's the matter with me. Yes. And you know, the new me is so different now. I used to get jealous when people get things and get blessed with things. Now I rejoice with them. I rejoice with them now. I used to feel like I had to compete about the word, and I was going toe-to-toe with people. The new me said, whatever. I know what I know. When it's necessary, I get involved. When I need to talk, I just talk. Otherwise, I don't need to compete with nobody. Prove to them how much word I know. That's the new me. The new me, I used to run my mouth and talk against people and bash them. The new me, watch what I say, because I know that my voice has power. And what a man sows, that should be. I'm realizing that I need to watch my mouth, and I learned how to watch my mouth. And I learned how to not even get involved in certain conversations. When they talk, I know how to walk away now. Whereas before, I used to say, what? No. Seriously? For real? That's the new me. The new me. The new me. The new me. The new you. The new. And he's asking the question, did you bring the bad and the ugly over with you? Did you carry it over? Is this a thing of a message about like someone's supposed to get perfect? No one will ever get perfect. But there's things that God's been trying to take and move. And he was telling you, move it. And let me purge it. And let me cleanse it. And let me wash it. And let me remove it. That thing you had an option to let me cleanse. Why are you taking it over? Or have you taken it over? Or even did you even do that? So the question is this. Did you or did I bring over or carry over the bad and the ugly? Did we bring it over? Did we carry it over? Am I a person that in 2011 and in my previous season was so easily offended at every little thing? Did I carry that ugly thing over? And I'm still so easily offended and I'm going to be easily offended in this new season, in this new time? Am I still that way? Did I bring that bad thing over?
No.
Because remember we said offense is something that we choose to take. See, you can do something to one thing. I don't have to get offended. Offense is a choice. Offense is actually a choice. You can say something degrading to me, but I actually have to choose whether I take it or not. To take offense to what you said, that's being offended. Being offended means you take offense to what is said. I don't have to take offense. I can say you leave that and it don't bother me, and whatever you want to say can walk off from you. And I actually have no offense. And I can walk away pure away from you even though you said what you said. So offense is a choice based on taking offense to be offended. And so that means we're taking things pertaining to offense we shouldn't take. When we need to release it and let it go or not even take it. This is about the new man. How are you in your new season? And that you, and that you is me. Am I really in my new season? Nothing with the exterior. Nothing with the exterior. But everything pertaining to internal.